Kia ora, I'm Murph, I'm the scientist and a lecturer here at the BHU, and today we're prepping a paddock for planting for next season. So we're here in what's called the Crowder and Maples block, our back paddock as we like to call them in New Zealand, and this was the last piece of land that came into the BHU, which is why it's so much more open. This was originally land used for animal research, animal husbandry. And so we haven't been in here for several years. We've been letting the university graze their sheep. Indeed, we'll go back around and have a look at the sheep. So the university's been grazing their sheep in here. They've just had them in this next door paddock here, and they've grazed it down. Quite a bit of stalk left. Sheep are not very good at grazing tough long stuff. They like to nibble on short things. So this needs a bit of a mow. Paddock here has been down to pasture for about 8 years. We used to have the polytunnels in here, but a whole load of our other ground, as I've said in previous videos, it's kind of been used for quite a few years and a bit of abused and got too much weed in it. So after 8 years of pasture, this ground soil should be in really beautiful condition. Lots of organic matter, lots of nitrogen. And so we're in the process of taking some fairly long grass. Let's just look over the fence here. So this is the kind of really quite thick pasture we've got in here at the moment. And so we came in here, used our mulcher mower, flail mower, cut it down, and we've decided we're going to plough. We'll go and have a look next at some ground we cultivated up about a month ago. So we came in here about a month ago, cultivated these beds up. We came in with the rotary hoe, the rotavator, skimmed it, ripped it with the tines, and then came through and hoed it again, cultivated again. But what's ended up is we've got the duff layer in this old pasture's really, really thick, and there's some really big cocksfoot grasses, really big tough grasses in here. So instead of getting a nice tilth, it's become really puffy. And as you can see from this green sheen here, we've also got a good flush of grass weeds that have come up, and a bit of twitch as well. So it's really not in a condition. We were planning to plant garlic in here, and that's clearly not going to work. So we've decided we're actually going to plough this paddock. So we mulched it all off, but then because this pasture is so thick, we've ended up with great big thick layer and some huge great piles of effectively bad hay. So we've decided we're going to plough this field, and ploughing has for some time now had quite the bad rap in terms of causing damage to soil, and certainly in terms of the intensive organic vegetable systems I've worked on most of my life. I've never ploughed at all. Indeed, I haven't used a plough since college, which is now a very long time ago. But there's increasing work coming through the literature showing that if you're using a non-inversion, a non-ploughing system, a min-till system, and then every 4, 5, 6 years you plough, this can actually be quite beneficial, because what it does is it turns carbon that's accumulating on their surface layers in much deeper, and it locks it into the soil. So there's some quite serious research actually looking at taking long-term no-till systems, min-till systems, and then deep ploughing, so down to 30 centimetres a foot, to try and get carbon into depth where it's protected from decay due to the lack of oxygen at depth. And also in terms of herbicide resistant management, particularly again in no-till and min-till systems, grass weeds tend to take over in those systems. And grasses don't have the hard protective seed coat that broadleaf dicots do. And if you plough grasses under, after about 3, 4, 5 years, virtually all that seed's dead. So ploughing is becoming an important strategy for herbicide resistance management as well. So the original purpose of ploughing was actually not soil conditioning, as a lot of people think, but actually vegetation control. Indeed, the no-till guys call glyphosate, Roundup, chemical ploughing. So what we're going to do here, get all this residue off this field, and then plough it, cultivate it, get it all leveled up, get a green manure, a cover crop in here over winter, some more of our oats and tares that we've used on the rest of the place. That'll allow this pasture to decompose, and then we've got a nice clean start in the spring once we take that green crop out. So we've gone and borrowed the university's what they call catch and carry. This is basically a kind of very rudimentary silage machine. We've got a flail mower on the front. Let me just come under here. It's got paddle blades on it. So as those spin round, they pick up a lot of air. It's basically like a giant fan. So they not only cut the pasture off, they're also moving a lot of air that blows it up that chute, and then it goes into the container here. The big challenge I've got at the moment, because this stuff's been cut about a week ago, it's got really dry, so it's not really blowing into this hopper anywhere near as effectively as I'd like. And we also have quite a lot of it. Right over here, if we can zoom in, you can see I've got a big old pile of this already, and I've barely started in this field. So I've got quite a lot of work cut out for me. So I'll set you guys up on the tripod and you can see what this machine looks like when it's working. So that's what the machine looks like when it's working, and it looks like I've got a blockage there right at the end, so I'm probably going to have to push all that stuff out the bottom and have another go. And that's the problem here, this stuff's really light and fluffy, so this machine's designed to work on new pasture. And so this is going to be a bit of a dog of a job, but we need to do this, so we're going to just persevere with this. Also should have said at the beginning, we're about 5th of May, I think it is now, so we're into autumn. I've got my jacket on. We've got a few cold frosts coming through, or some cold weather. Autumn's definitely here. So we need to push on with this if we're going to get this green manure into the ground and get it up and get it growing enough before we really get into winter. The fact that it's oats in there that are the most kind of cold tolerant will keep growing in the coldest weather. It's going to be really quite critical now. So I hope that was interesting, and we'll see you in the next one.